Hey there, wellness family. Peter Gordon here. Thank you for clicking on this video. Are you compromising or are you settling? No, I was literally on the way to the gym, and I got a call from a good girlfriend of mine. I hadn't talked to her in a really long while, so it was really nice to hear from her. And I was a little sad because when she called me, we started talking. And it's a funny story here. Ever since I decided to go back to school to become a psychologist, a lot of my friends call me up just to talk, and I think perhaps because I've become a better listener, and the reality is when you're going through this type of program, it does teach you to become a better listener. And sometimes people just want to vent. So a lot of my friends call me for that. But in any case, the call kind of saddened me initially because she was telling me that she was thinking about leaving her husband that she'd been with for over 12, 13 years, something like that. And so I asked her, well, what was the issue? Do you not love him anymore? And she said, it's not so much as that. She just feels like she's losing herself because essentially she felt that she had compromised herself all those years. So me being me in that moment, I asked her, I said, when you say compromise, what do you mean by that? She said, well, there are a lot of things that I liked that I chose not to do anymore. There are a lot of things that he does that I don't like, but I chose to accept it. In essence, I chose to compromise. So I asked her, did he know about those choices that you had made? And she paused for a second and she said, no, he didn't. And so I looked at her and I asked her and I said, so do you think you compromised or do you think you settled? And she paused for quite a while, to be honest. And she said, I never thought about it that way. I guess you could argue that I settled. You see, here's the thing. When people compromise, here's how it should work. Hey, I have this problem, right? You feel safe, you feel confident enough to talk to your significant other. And that significant other, by the way, could be your father, your mother, whatever that relationship may be. Let's say it's your husband or your wife. You should feel safe enough to be able to say something to that person about an issue you have with them, right? That person should be able to hear you and then say, I hear what you said, and then you both come to an understanding of how not to do that thing or to keep doing something. That is compromise. Here's the issue. Many of us don't compromise. What we actually do is we settle. We hide our true selves because we want to make the other person happy. That is called settling. Here's the problem with settling. It is never a good space to be in from a mental health standpoint because you are not being your true authentic self. And if you're not being your true authentic self in a relationship, eventually you are going to implode. And when you implode, look out. As we say in Jamaica, everything get mashed up, all right? So how do you come to a space where you learn how to compromise with your significant other? I'm going to say it. The best thing, especially if you're a couple, couples therapy, right? If you feel like you cannot talk to that person, seek couples therapy, right? Or if you're even your mother and a father, seek family therapy. I mean, because what you want is a safe space for you to be able to open up, right? That is the important part. You have to feel safe enough to open up. And in that safe space, hopefully can cause the other person to hear you, right? That is compromise, right? And then that allows you to feel heard. When you feel heard, you feel empowered. You feel you're being your true authentic self. You are no longer settling, all right? Counseling, again, does not have to be with a licensed professional. It could be a mediator, a trusted confidant, right? A spiritual advisor. That is the first thing, right? Seek therapy in that regard. In fact, I'd go a step further. Before you even do that, I would say seek therapy for yourself because your inability to talk about things that bother you could be an issue with yourself, right? Maybe that person doesn't even know. They don't even know the things that they're doing. You see what I'm saying? So I hope this makes sense. So I just want to put the steps together here. If you have issues with talking about things that bother you to your significant other, I would seek therapy for yourself first. And then I would seek therapy together. Because I'm telling you, if you settle, eventually you're going to implode. Now, here's the deal with my friend. when we had this long talk, she said, you know what? I'm going to propose therapy to him because I'd never done it before. It's just something I just kept this all to myself, and I'm just going to see what he says. So I don't know what's going to come of that situation, but I felt it was a good thing that she's going down that road before she blows up her whole life. All right. So I hope this makes sense. I hope you compromise and you don't settle. Anyways, family, stay well.